Good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome back to the Operation Heal 100 Heart channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. Listen. All our life we had to fight. Check this out. Hit the thumbs up right now. Right now, come on, hit the thumbs up on this video. Hit the thumbs up on this video, okay? Hitting the thumbs up is your free way of getting me in the algorithm, and I can see, I'm gonna tell you what y'all doing, right? I could look at my video and see that I had 400 viewers, right? And now I have 6 likes. What's up, blood? I thought y'all bangs with me. What we doing here? Like, come on, get me out that algorithm. It don't cost you nothing. I ain't asking you to donate no money, no blood, no sperm, no nothing. Come on, hit me up. Hit the thumbs up. Also, if you are new here and you just browsing, subscribe to my channel because I guarantee you one of those doggone albums one of the albums that I have on this channel, whether it's Dear Deja, whether it's DM Deja, whether it's I Got a Story to Tell, whether it's my lives, one of those albums gonna pull you in and you're gonna be watching me for the next 60 to 90 days non-stop, and then you're gonna be hooked from there. I'm telling you, I know what's up. I got the formula. In any event, please drop down in the comment section and give me some feedback because I'm about to read y'all one of these Dear Deja letters and we got to get into these folks' business. So let's get it going. Dear Deja, when I was 19 years old, a woman and her son moved in my building. Shorty had to be about 12 at the time, and for whatever reason, he gravitated towards me and vice versa. I started teaching Shorty how to play sports, travel in his new neighborhood, and defend himself, so his mom fucked with me because of the way I fucked with her son. I don't know where the little nigga pops was, and Deja, I ain't asked. Needless to say, the moms and I started fucking around. She's 16 years older than me, which made her 36 years old and me 20 years old when we became an official couple. I love that woman. She taught me what I needed to know about being a man with a lady. Fast forward to 10 years, I'm 30 and in the best shape of my life and ready to live my best life. Meanwhile, she's 46 years old, always tired, in something called perimenopause, and ready to settle down in the suburbs with nothing but Wi-Fi. Deja, her son is grown, and now while I love my boy, I'm ready for us to have our own son, get us a condo in the city, start a few more businesses to create generational wealth, and take our relationship to the next level. I've run out of ways to get her to see that life does not end after 40. It actually has just begun. And to be honest, I'm almost tired of playing tug of war. I love my lady, but I also love this thing called life, and I'm ready to start living it in a different way. On some real shit, tell me if you think it's time for me to pack this relationship up or continue fighting. Holla at me, sign. She's ready to chill, and I'm ready to build. Lord, what is this the week of everybody ready to leave their woman? I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right, let's run it. Okay. First of all, I like how you started the letter off with, the role that you took in her son's life. I think that's a beautiful thing, and I'm always so fascinated about people who are not biological parents to young people, and they take them in as if they're their own, and start looking out for them and so on and so forth, and making them feel like everything's going to work out perfectly, and assuming that role when the actual parent couldn't or didn't. So I love that you said that, right? She's actually in what it sounds like you meant to say, perimenopause. I've heard the term before. I'm such a hypochondriac that one time I thought I was in it and ran to the GYN, and they was like, Miss Allen, everything that you see on TV is... Anywho, this is not about me. So anyway, okay. I hear you, right? It looks like there's an age difference, which is creating a gap, which is creating an issue. This is what I will say, right? I see this often. But you know where I first heard this conversation? I first heard this conversation on reality TV. I heard it about women. I heard like when a younger woman, like, she goes for a sugar daddy and she all laughing and joking like, oh, my man take care of me. He love me. Until you have to factor in that now you are young and supple and this nigga need his diaper changed, right? And that's when it really hits you. So I've heard this conversation before. I just heard it on the flip side where it's a younger woman and an older man, right? Again, I'm very happy to hear that you guys were able to build a beautiful relationship and it was able to flourish and continue for the last 10 years. That's dope. That's what's up, right? And I also know that sometimes in relationships, people go in opposite directions. That's not far-fetched. It can definitely happen. I've seen it happen before. I haven't experienced it in a serious relationship, but I've seen it happen before. The key to any good relationship is good communication. The key to any good relationship is good communication. The key to good communication is being a good communicator. Right? There is facts and then there is feelings. Right? And I think when you put them down on the table and you lay them both out, right? These are the facts. This is how I feel. Then you try to make the two intertwine and marry so that it can work well for you as an individual. Okay? So I'll give you an example. When I was younger, I dated a guy, my first love, long time ago. And he had an idea of what relationships look like. And I had an idea of what relationships look like. Now, we walked into it all smitten and in love and young and yada, 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 not having the deep conversation and communication of what we both wanted our relationship to look like from our perspective, right? So now when we jump in it and we're in it, he has his idea, I have my idea, right? Now as an adult, let me just lay out the facts and let me just show you how the feelings could not intertwine for us to work, right? The facts of the matter were, in a relationship, I need trust. I need honesty and I need loyalty because that creates trust for me, right? For him, he needed honesty and he needed loyalty, but he didn't feel he needed to reciprocate that, right? What he did feel in not reciprocating it is he understood that he would not be trusted because he didn't reciprocate that, but he also didn't understand why him not being trusted should eliminate him from being in a relationship. Now, for me, that was impossible for him not to understand. At least that's how I felt, because how the fuck would you be in a relationship without trust? For him, it was, no, but if you love me and we're attracted to one another and we're friends, then this can work. It can, for a limited time only. Because after a while, when I realize that I can't trust you, then we will no longer be friends. I will no longer be attracted to you, right? And those were the facts about my feelings, right? Okay. I think for you and Big Mama, right, we got to lay out the facts and see if we can marry the feelings so you guys can push forward. The facts are, you guys have an age gap. That's the long and the short of it. 9 times out of 10, because the age gap is relatively large, it's almost 20 years. You guys are going to have a difference in the way you see things and the way that you do things. I don't care how long y'all was together, right? Because 9 times out of 10, at your age, you probably have friends that are your age and things that go on with your age group that she has very much outgrown because she's older than you. So, of course, you're looking at life through a different lens than she is because of the age gap. She is almost 50 years old where you're only almost 30. Where you're only 30. Right? That's a totally different mindset. If you are the same person at 50 that you were at 30 or worse, there is an issue there. There is an issue. So I can almost guarantee that who she was at 30 when she first moved in your building, she was even older than that then, but I'm just saying she was in that age group. She is totally different from now. And of course, so are you. You had a lot of living to do. You had a lot of growing up to do. You've been in this relationship. I'm not saying that you're immature, but you may not be in the space that she's in at the age that she is. So the facts of the matter is, like I said, since we put them on the table, there is an age gap. Because there is an age gap, you guys should be honest about the conversations that need to take place because of the age gap. Case in point, if I'm in a relationship with you and we're friends, right? What I've learned about relationships that are also friendships is you and that person can be intertwined at the freaking hip. I won't lie to you, me and Pookie is intertwined at the hip. I will not lie. And reason being is because we're genuinely friends. So whereas I can hang out with my homegirls, get as drunk as I want, pop as much shit as I want, act as stupid as I want, get my damn girdle fixed, my damn wig pulled to, like, Pookie would do all those things for me too. So because of that, we spend a lot of time together. Now let me say this, right? If she's almost 50 and you're 30 and we're friends, we want to hang out, what y'all want to do is going to differ. So whereas you might want to go to the lit spot and turn up, she may be looking at you like, sweetie, I want to go to a cigar lounge. You're like, what? The dark place with the jazz music and all the smoke? I don't want to go to that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It may differ. Those are conversations y'all need to have, right? Once again, we laying all the facts on the table. Now, after we lay the facts on the table, after you and her sit down and y'all lay the facts out, then we have to talk about how y'all feel about those facts and how you can marry those feelings together. So, like, I'll give you an example. I just what I use, right? I want to go to the cigar lounge. I want to go to the lit club. Let's compromise. If that's something you both can do, you can say, let's compromise. Listen. That cigar lounge, it make my throat itch. That smoke be making my eyes burn. I can't deal with that bullshit. So how about we go maybe once a week, or we go to a place where you can smoke cigars, but it's not particularly the cigar lounge, so it's all smoky or whatever the case may be, right? Then you can say to her, well, sometimes you got to come into the lit spot, or you have to understand that that's the time we don't hang out and I go with my people to the lit spot. You understand what I'm saying? Like, these are conversations that you guys have to be able to marry your feelings to make it work. Right? So let's move forward about the future, right? Let's talk about the future, right? What it sounds like is you guys, I don't know if you had conversations about the future and were on the same page back then, or if you've never had conversations about the future, but now is the time, right? Now is the time. Sitting down to say, hey, listen, this is what I want and this is what I need. Let me lay the facts down. I'll give you guys an example of my own situation, right? I need to be close enough to my family to get to them when I need to. So me and Pookie always talk about if we want to move, where we want to go, yada, yada, yada. I just say to him, as long as I have one living parent and he has one living parent, maybe we can go somewhere in the middle so we can be able to get to those people when we need to. You know what I'm saying? So that's my necessity. Now, my luxury is that I live in a freaking $6 million condo. I don't fucking know. But my necessity is that I always have a short amount of distance in between me and my family that I could get to them when they need me. Right? That is my necessity. I ask him, what is his necessity, right? And we have that conversation. When we have that conversation, we get to say, like, what it sounds like you need is a little too far-fetched for me, or, okay, all right, I could get with that. Because prior to being in that relationship, I didn't have conversations about leaving New York City. That didn't even come up on my radar. Right? But now being in this relationship and hearing some of the pros and the cons and even living my own life and getting older, I can see the benefits of moving. So for me, it's not like, oh my God, it's the end of the world if we move out of New York City. No, not at all. It's something I'm willing to compromise. So that's what makes us be able to say, oh, okay, I think we could see a future with each other. Because if I was saying, listen, I'm not willing to do that and that's something he needs, then we are not going to be able to work. We can't marry the feelings and make them mesh together. So for y'all too, y'all need to sit down and talk about what you guys need and see if you can make those two marry and become one. And if you can't, my dear, I know it's going to sound crazy because you know this lady has basically raised you. Y'all grown each other up. You have 10 years together. You have an excellent relationship with her son and you love her. But love is not enough. I regret to inform anybody who wants to be in love or who is in love. Love is not enough. Sex is not enough. Money is not enough. You need a number of things to get to forever. I'm working through the journey as we speak. Okay? And none of those three things are only the holy grail for what you need to make it to forever. There is real life conversations that need to be had about the future that y'all are building together in order for you to stay solid. Right? So, like you said in your letter, we need to sit down, we need to talk. Let's run it. You're telling me that you're not willing to live in a city. The necessity for you is to be out in the suburbs. Now, if that's a necessity for her, right? Then you can see if you can compromise there, because that's a necessity for her, and vice versa. But if there is no compromise on some part to meet each other in the middle, I don't think that you guys will be able to continue. Unless you're willing to do what I see new age people do, which is we live separate but we go together. We live separate but we're married. I'm not doing that. But some people do. So that can come up as a conversation. Okay, well, if your necessity is to live in a home in the suburbs and my necessity is to live in a condo in the city, is living separate an option for us? If you guys can find ways within the facts to marry your feelings and compromise and make it work for y'all, beautiful, continue on and do it every single time. But if you can't, you have to be honest about that. You have to be honest about that. And as much as it hurts to be honest about things that don't make you feel good, or to be honest about things that will hurt you, in the end, you will be okay. Because if it was meant to be, there would be some compromise and something that could be done for y'all to marry those feelings and those facts and make it work. That's one of the reasons how I got as far as I have in my relationship now, is because, like I told you earlier, when I was in that relationship younger, that he could not comprehend that in order to be in a serious relationship, I have to be honest and loyal 24/7. That was not something he could wrap his mind around. For him, that did not mean that was the only way he could be in a relationship. That was the only way he could be in a relationship with me, because that was my necessity. And because he wasn't willing to compromise on one of my necessities, as much as it hurt me, I had to understand that this is not the person for me. I'm sorry. Whereas here we are, fast forward to all these years later, where I don't even have to say that I need those things. I'm just automatically giving them in my current relationship because of the type of man that you are. In my opinion, that's the man for me. Not that other guy that I was trying to force to marry the feelings and the facts. So, like I said, my dear, while you might love your lady, if you guys cannot marry the facts and the feelings and compromise to make each other happy and yourselves happy, then you have to question if that is the relationship for you. Now, before you do any of that, we need to sit down. We need to sit down. We need to sit down. We need to have a Heal a Heart session, because you need to know for a straight up and down fact what's a necessity and what's a luxury for you before we even get to homegirl. Before we have any conversation about homegirl, you need to be coming for your one-on-one session, because you need to be very clear on what's a necessity and what's a luxury. I don't have many necessities. I do not have many necessities. I mean, I got many luxuries, but I don't have many necessities, right? I am willing and open to compromising, right? Because I don't have many necessities. But my necessities, the things that I need, I'm not willing to waver on. And because of that, I've been able to figure out the type of relationship that I can be in and the one that I can't be in. Right? So we live in an era, right? You gotta look around. We look in an era where it's like, these niggas for everybody, these bitches for everybody, right? That's the saying, right? While I believe that it is incredibly hard for some people to be faithful, I honestly do. I believe in my heart of hearts that it's some people on this planet that really mean nobody else in the world no harm or disrespect. They just like to be lusted after. They just like to be intimate with other people. They just like sex that much. And they can be in love and married and still need it and require it for people outside of their marriage. I do believe there's people like that in the world, right? I don't knock those people. I also believe it is spouses that could be with those type of people and ignore and overlook and pretend that they don't see those things because they can still maintain their relationship. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. I don't get to judge that, right? I know that mentally, I'm sorry? So that doesn't work for me. That does not work for me. It's a necessity that I have your loyalty. because I got shit to do, right? And if we're trying to bring this together and I'm telling you what my necessity is and you're telling me that you don't think that's something that you can do, I can't compromise on my necessities. So for you, you need to sit down and say, what do I need? Do you absolutely need to live in a condo, or do you like the idea and the way it looks and the way it sounds to say you live in a condo? Is it literally impossible for you to live in the suburbs? Because if that is the case, you have to say that. What you can't say is, okay, no, that's what you want to do, we're going to do it. And now act miserable the whole time we're there until we break up. No. So say what you need. And also recognize what you don't. You know, I hear a lot of women say they need a rich man and a big dick man. Those are the two things that I hear women say all the time. They need, right? Now you're receiving that, right? You're receiving a man who knows how to make a lot of money, and you're receiving a man whose penis is as big as they fucking arm. But you're also getting that in a man packaged with mental health issues. So while he's fucking you and financing you, he's also fighting you, and you're unhappy. Why? Can I ask why? What is making you unhappy? You laid out what you needed. You got it. Why are you not happy? Oh, I know why. You didn't lay out everything you needed. You forgot to factor in that you needed a man who was mentally stable. So that's why you're not happy. Which is why, once again, you would have to make your necessities and your luxuries list. And then you would know how to go and have that conversation about feelings and facts and making them marry together with your spouse. But you have to know what you need first. I remember when I was younger, right? I worked literally, let me be clear, because I don't think people understand. I worked since I was 16 years old. It started with summer youth jobs, and at 19, I had my very first serious job. I had that job for 7 years. The pandemic is the most that I have sat down in my entire life, right? So I know how to make money. The problem is, at this big age, I still don't know how to manage it properly. I'm working on it. I'm on my healing journey. Y'all don't fuck with me, okay? But I'm working on it. But that's my problem, right? That's my issue, is that I don't know how to manage money properly. But I know how to make some fucking money. I know how to make money. I know how to make money. That's the one thing that I know how to do, because I've been doing it for so long and from so young, right? So you know what I started telling myself at a certain age, right? Because once I got like 24, 25, I saw that the guys that I was attracted to, which is like a more physically fit, more like clean cut type of guy, they always had squabbles when it came to money. Either they was like a fake hustler, so it's like your hustle is on for a month and then it's off, or they was like a fake worker where you always got into something at a job and lost your job, right? So I don't know why, in my mind, I thought it would be okay for me to say, you know what? One of my necessities, it's not a necessity for me to have a man with money. It's a luxury. God said that's what it is? It's a luxury? Okay. So if it's a luxury, and because I started to believe that, right, I continue to attract people who didn't really have money. Again, maybe it's some people in the world who is still to this day, at my age, younger or older, that would be okay with. I had to learn the hardest way ever that having a man that knows how to make money is a necessity for me. So while you may meet people that say, oh, you know, I'm going to help him get on his feet and I'm going to foot the bill for... No. I am no longer in a space to do that. That's a necessity for me. So any up and coming rapper my age, any up and coming entrepreneur my age, if I was single, I wouldn't even be in the same room as them. Because guess what? I cannot wait for you to get on your feet. I need your ass to be fucking standing. Okay? And I didn't know I needed that when I was younger, right? I thought that was just a luxury for me. No, that's a necessity. A necessity. And I have to make that clear, which is why my motherfucking man came home and hit the ground running. And not because I made him or told him, because that's the type of man I attracted. So yeah, I had an unfortunate situation, but that's not forever. That was temporary, and guess what? Now that it's no more, boom, I hit the ground running. Now my man makes more than me. You know what I'm saying? So it is a beautiful thing to know what your luxuries and your necessities are. And it's also an even better thing to meet a person who can help partner with you on them, and you guys can make compromises to make your relationship work. My suggestion to you, my dear, is to come get your Operation Heal 100 Heart session. Write up, know, and be clear on your luxuries and your necessities, and go sit down with your lady. And you go in there with an open mind. You go in there with an open mind. Don't go in there with fear that if I don't compromise in the area she need me to, she's gonna leave me, or I'm gonna have to leave her. If by God's design, if that's the case, y'all gonna leave each other regardless. Okay? But you have to go in there knowing what you want, and understanding and knowing what she wants, and then also knowing if that could work between the two of you. And if it can't, I'm sorry to hear that it couldn't. You guys had a beautiful 10-year run. Get the fuck on with it and find a lady that's for you. And if it can work, my dear, fight for your life, for your relationship. Stand 10 toes down in it and invite me to your wedding. All right? So, I think we have some solid ground to work from. I think when you write me back, we're going to schedule your Healing Heart session. And the first thing we're going to go over is your necessities and your luxuries. Because we want to be clear. You don't want to go to your woman confused. You want to be very clear when you approach this situation about how things are going to move forward. And you want to be clear on what you receive from her. Okay? So I hope this works out in as favorable a way as possible for both of you, because while I do hear all of that superficial stuff you talked about, it sounds like that underneath it all, you guys love each other. You guys love each other, and that's a beautiful thing. It's just not enough. All right, so listen, my dear, I hope this helps. I gave it from the soul, and for all the information that I have from you. So I genuinely hope this helps. I hope you reach out to me and let me know if it helps. I appreciate you writing your letter, and I can't wait for you to come in for your session. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you should already hit the thumbs up, so I ain't even beefing with you about that. But drop down in the comment section and let me know what you think about this feedback. Let me know if I killed it, if I nailed it, which, hello, that's what I do. Also, if you just, scrolling by, don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe. Also, share my channel. If you got homegirls or homeboys that need this information, share my channel. Go through all my playlists. Let me know which one is your favorite. I love getting feedback. I'm down in the comments, commenting back. I love it. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. I really appreciate your support, and make sure you stay cool and enjoy your day.